So when it comes to connecting source and the sink, so let me explain what I mean. Say you have a heat source, so place wherein temperature is higher, and a sink source where the temperature is lower, right? I can connect this to using one single rod or two rods. The color are not extreme. Let me change the color. Say two rods or a third rod and fourth rod and so on and so forth. So I can connect it with many rods. Not only this way, I can also connect it with two rods, but in a different way. Is this possible? Right? So this is what we're looking at. So this is your combined rods. Steady state heat conduction through multiple material. So the word steady state, I hope you guys understand by now. So basic idea is when we have two or more rods are connected in such a way that the heat flows through all of them. The total heat transfer depends on how they are connected. Are they in series, that is end to end? Are they parallel, side to side? So this is what? This is an example of parallel. Or is it series? No, it's parallel itself. And this is series, one after another. So how you have your resistance with one single node. So one shared node. And this is connected to your voltage source and key and stuff. So this is series connection. Similar to that, you have this. Okay. That's very simple. So in steady state, the formulas become very simple using thermal resistance. So rod in series, the important feature is that same heat current H flows through each rod. See, it doesn't matter what it is, whatever rod you are connecting, whatever type you are connecting, once steady state occurs, the temperature profile is fixed. So you have a steady current flowing through the rods. So total temperature drop is equal to sum of individual drops. Thermal resistance adds up. So I'll explain what's that. Conceptually, it means that heat faces one obstacle after another, like current through resistor in series. So what we are trying to tell here is heat has to go through not only one rod, but both the rod to reach the other end. So basically, if I want to replace a single rod, in place of this, if I want to replace a single rod which has the same effect, all I have to do is add R1 plus R2 plus R3. That is the thermal resistance. Okay, so this is an expression for your thermal resistance. So in total, the thermal resistance will be R1 plus R2 plus R3, or Li, that is length. So each can have their own length, by each can have their own constant, but the area of cross section has to be same. So here you can see that area of cross section has to be same. Okay, so let me explain that. Let's go over here. So we're looking at the case of series. Say we have the source, we have the sink. This is your source connected to the sink. So you can see the length are not the same. L1 is not equal to L2. But area of cross section of 1 is equal to area of cross section 2. The material dependent constant, your K1, need not be equal to K2. If it's equal, then it's the same material. So this is material dependent, right? Material dependent. And A stands for your area of cross section. I hope you guys know what is area of cross section. So let me not go to that. So this is your setup. This being the case, if this thermal resistance over here is R1, this is R2, then R equivalent will be, R1 plus R2. So similarly, if you have n such things, you can just add them up. So we know that you have your Li by Ki into A. Remember, A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A. Plus, so not Li, L1 plus K1 into A. And R2 is L2 by K2 into A, and so on and so forth. This we can write it as a summation as Li by Ki times of A. So I can run from 1 to n. That's it. So we can have n such rods being connected. So here, that's what we represent as A and Ki and Li. So this is not Ai, this is A. So area of cross section has to be same. Now when it comes to parallel, so let me take up a similar profile. So parallel, here too, of course, we have the source and the sink. Source and the sink. So the source can be connected in many ways. So starting from this, and then you can have the next material maybe this thick. So here you can see that your Li, L1 has to be equal to L2. The length has to be same because it has to move from one end to another end. So this should be equal. Ki, obviously, it's material dependent. K1 and K2 need not be. And even A1 need not be equal to A2. I think I made a mistake over here. I've taken the length as different. Length has to be same, actually. Nothing wrong in this. This representation is not wrong. But yeah, technically length has to be same. So I just realized when I was explaining. So this being the case, so you know your resistance, equivalent resistance. This is R1 and R2 and all of that. So your equivalent resistance, you can figure it out by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1. It's same as your current. So effect is the same. So when you simplify this, you will end up with this particular expression. Okay, so this is a very simple concept that you can connect many rods between a source and the sink. That I think you guys don't need. Yeah. So this would be your introduction. We'll start off with this. Next is rods in series. Rods in parallel.